Let's play some quick NU today. I'm just looking to play a little bit of NU with some of the new drops. We've got Gligar in the tier now. Since it's not fully evolved, we don't have to wait for it to drop from OU, which I think is sort of fun. Now, Gligar did lose Roost, unfortunately for Gligar, but fortunately for everybody else. So it's mostly just a matter of time until Gligar goes down. And Gurdurr got Scald, which is really annoying. So I'm pretty sure Gurdurr is going to be on every team until it maybe gets banned. Electros got knockoff, which I don't think will help it too much, but it's a thing. So right off the bat, I'm going to leave Gligar, because I can get a Toxic on something. Or here, I'm just going to U-turn. They may taunt me, and I think that's fine. Or they actually Parting Shot, which is fine by me too. I'm Hypercutter right now. I don't really know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Immunity, of course, is generally what you want run on Gligar. I'm just going to scope out and see how much Toxic matters. Now that we don't have Recovery, it's not like Gligar is going to be living that much longer. I'm going to go into Electros here. They don't really have a good electric immunity. They may just want to go for knockoff here. Or Stealth Rock or something. Not sure what this Bombardier is planning on doing. My opponent has a really good looking solid team. They got a Spinner and Serena. Serena now gets knockoff as well, which is really good. They've got a couple dark types to threaten the dog, Houndstone, so that their Heracross can sweep late game. I actually was sort of hoping that they'd go into Gudra here. I'm going to click knockoff here. They knock me off as well. And they were only heavy duty boots. Get on the Dragon Tail, because I want to kill him, as we end up doing just that. So that's fantastic for me. I'm really glad to have gotten rid of Gudra. And here I'll just go for the Drain Punch. They actually killed me with Play Rough, which, since I was +1 defense, this is a little bit surprising, I think. Here I'm gonna go into Colossal, I think. Right, you can't stay in. And now I can just go for the Will-O-Wisp? It's hard to say, because they could always go hard into Heracross, which I think is a risky play, because I could go for a fire move, and you don't know if I'm the kind of player to do that. But if it's Guts, then that's an issue. But I figured Quillfish would come out. That makes a lot more sense. Now I'm just going to go Gligar here. And I'm just going to click Earthquake. At least just one time to see what's up. As I am sort of a faster Gligar, and this looks to be max defense or something, Quillfish, so they actually underspeed me, which is fantastic. And I don't think my opponent... Wait, am I fast Gligar? Gligar. No, I am 0 speed Gligar. Okay, but Gligar is sort of fast, 85 speed. Okay. So, Okay. So they just must have like no speed on that thing. I don't know if my opponent was expecting that. I'm gonna click Toxic. And now I can U-turn out. They go for knockoff, which is unfortunate because that will limit my longevity. But here I can rapid spin, and that's the main thing I wanted. They're gonna U-turn out. They can do that safely since I am burned. And at this point, I sort of just want to click Rock Slide. They go for Flip Turn, and that does absolutely no type of damage. I wonder what my opponent wants to go into here. So they go into Bombardier. I'm gonna actually set up a couple more rapid spins. Keep the rocks off the field. Now I'm at a respectable 172. I'm gonna go hard Gligar. I know I did allow myself to get knocked off. That was probably not the greatest play. But defensively, it's okay. If it's Scarf, that's the thing I want to scout. If it's Scarf Moxie, I should be able to take one hit. They are not Scarf Moxie. They are Dark. Interesting. Okay. So now they can just kill me with Facade there. That is a major issue. But they are Guts and not and not Moxie, which I guess is sort of good in its own way. Now this Goodra has some defense investment, but not a ton. So let's go to the damage calc and see what we can do. Goodra versus Heracross. Are you Flame Orb? It is burned. Megahorn, Close Combat are both rolls to kill me. But I can go for the Dragon Pulse. Do a decent chunk. Actually, because it's Dark type. And Terra Dark. Body Press does the most damage, funnily enough. I'm just gonna have to hope that they don't get the roll. Because it's not in their favor to get the roll, right? It's a 6% chance. As yeah, they don't get it. So now I'm going to sack. So I don't want to sack my Cacturn. And then I'm gonna go into Scyther. So I'm gonna double into Colossal here. That way they can hopefully die to burn. I've got to win with Last Mon Scyther. It's basically the only thing I can do here. So we go Goodra, Scald. Alright. Last Mon Scyther. I don't think it wins. Not by a long shot. Especially because I'm pretty sure this is Banded Grimmsnarl. Gonna just Sword Stance up as they go for Play Rough and it one-shots me. Okay. That seems about right. So that Heracross was a major problem. Gligar didn't really do much for it. It was a risky play, maybe a little bit, for them to go for Trailblaze turn 1. But it was fairly... They were fairly sure I wasn't going to stay in, so it wasn't probably the riskiest. And to be honest, the only reason Trailblaze actually helped them at all was because it allowed them to outspeed Scyther. So I understand why they made the play. If I were Choice Scarfed on any of my Pokemon, I think that would have really helped. But this team is a little bit on the slower side. Which, looking at it, that is probably an issue. Now we're facing what looks to be Sun, which is not what I wanted to be facing. But I did bring Colossal specifically for Typhlosion. So as long as Typhlosion doesn't have Terra Blast Ground, then we should be okay-ish. And it looks like they don't have... Let me try to remember here. I don't think they have Hazard Removal here. So it might behoove me to lead off with Gligar, as I can just start laying spikes. They are actually faster than I am, and don't think about that. I'm gonna go into Colossal here, because if they decide to Encore me again, well, I guess no, spikes is fine. I want to lay down spikes. If I'm Encored into spikes, that's not a problem. And looking at it, I think I am going to make this immunity after all. Just because it would be nice against Umbreon and opposing Gligars. Okay. You turn out here. We win a speed tie, it looks like. But unfortunate. I'm gonna go Electros, I think. Because I can knock them off as well. They lay on their spikes, and I can just coil if they want to go into their Typhlosion. Unless the heavy duty boots, they will be taking these spikes, which I don't think they want that. And now that they've gone Copperajah, I can go for Drain Punch. It could have Heat Crash now that I think about it. I think Copperajah got Heat Crash back. But this will do a lot, and I am +1 defense. Because they did go for Heat Crash, a good call on my part. I'm just going to Drain Punch again. A little bit annoying that they did that. I'll go for Dragon... No, I'm gonna Drain Punch again. Because Drain Punch is a move that only one Pokemon on their team can switch into. And that one Pokemon does not threaten me, as we've seen. I don't know if they have Toxic as their last move. It's probably Earthquake. So knock off U-turn Earthquake. I think against Electros, you'd probably want Toxic on Gligar, because otherwise I can just set up on you, and that doesn't really scare me at all. So I'm going to click Drain Punch again. Well, actually, no. Oh, no, I am. Okay, that's fine. I wasn't sure if they'd lay a last layer of Spike up, in which case it would have been better to go for Coil again. But they might try to go into something like Umbreon or whatever, trying to make some progress. They're going to try to stall out my Drain Punches as much as possible. To go for Terra Fairy, which I think is fine. I mean, it's not really fine. It's a little bit fine. I'm gonna click Knock Off here, just in case they decided to switch into Gligar, and it does knock off their leftovers as well. Alright, here I'm gonna go Colossal now. Colossal will allow me to click Overheat, actually. Vulpix. Okay. Goodra time. Goodra, because this is already shown Encore, and I don't want my Colossal to get locked into something that's disadvantageous. I wasn't expecting Vulpix to come in on a Rock type, or on a Fire type. Wait, Vulpix to come in on a Rock type that was Colossal, yes. Okay, now I can just click Flamethrower here. See what they want to do. Alright, that's fine. Now I'll click Dragon Pulse. It would be really crazy for them to go into Typhlosion. I don't think they should ever make that play. Umbreon makes a lot more sense, but I have shown Flamethrower. I wonder how much speed this thing is rocking. Actually, no, we know, because I won the speed tie the previous time, and I have the 206 speed, so I know that I will outspeed this. I'll go Flamethrower here now, change it up back. That way, in case they go back into the Umbreon, we can do more damage. The Umbreon is not heavy duty boots, so it'll have to take these double layer of spikes every time it wants to come in. And here we go into Colossal. If they Terra Ground, that's unfortunate. But as they don't, we get a free Rapid Spin here. And now that we've gotten rid of their Spiker, we should be Gucci. Okay, here we go for Will-O-Wisp. Whatever. Will-O-Wisp always here because it means their foul plate is a lot less. And now I will Rock Slide. And at this point, I'm going to go back into... I'm going to Cacturn. What I'm going to do here. And I can go for the Dark Pulse. Because they can't touch me. Like, what are they doing to me? They're not really doing anything. I guess they have Toxic, sure. But I will Nasty Plot up here. And now we can Giga Drain. And we'll start doing some damage to the Umbreon. Nasty Plot up again here, just to tell them that I know what's up. And I'll Giga Drain again. Last move slot on this is Leech Seed, just because I didn't know what to put on this thing. Here, I don't really have a use for the Cacturn, so I'm willing to let it go down. In case they want to make a Terra Ground play. I don't really feel like that's a bad thing. They are back to full, but that's not an issue. We can obviously go Colossal here. And I'm just going to click Rock Slide. I have shown Rock Slide before, but I don't really feel like they can do anything else except for go for Vulpix. Sure. I have to keep Colossal around and healthy. We go Gligar here always. Gligar is really tanky defensively, so you can see that Heavy Slam does nothing. I'm actually going to let up my last layer of spikes just so it's at a full 25% knocked off its health. I think that may make a difference in the end. It may not, I don't know. Interestingly, Cacturn you would think would beat Gligar 1v1, potentially, but it doesn't because I have U-turn. And so I can just U-turn on the Cacturn and do super effective damage on it. And we'll just go into Colossal. No. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I go into there. I thought it's a fairly straightforward game. And now we're fighting a very odd-looking team. We've got just a couple of really bulky defensive mons, and then we've got a couple of really fast offensive mons that I'm not sure what they would want to do with Electros. And Braviary may be there for defog support, or maybe a more offensive set. I have no clue, because this is just such a motley crew of Pokemon. I'm going to lead off with Scyther, because I can get... Well, I feel like I should scare Uxie out. What if I don't? No, I might regret this. I'm gonna go Gligar. I don't want to get Thunder Waved or something really annoying. Actually end up going Avalugg, which makes a lot of sense. We'll just U-turn here, as they go for Terra Ghost, which to have burned your Ghost Terra that early is pretty nutty. But looking at my team, I'm actually really weak to Ice, so that's sort of funny. I've got to keep Colossal around, so that is not a switch in. I'm going to go into my Electros. They do go for Avalanche, as I thought they might. I will just coil up here. They go into Uxie. We can click Knockoff here. They do go for Yawn. Now they don't have any leftovers, which means they don't have any real recovery. I'm going to go back into Gligar here, as I can go for the Tox. And I will take that trade every day of the week. They go for U-turn themselves, but I can U-turn out. I didn't think that this set would have Protect in particular, so I felt like it was okay to do this play. And now I will go back into Electros. They don't know that I don't actually have any stab moves on this. I'm not sure how I feel about not having any stab moves on this, but it's the play we ended up making. We got a crit there. I will just Drain Punch here. They actually failed to 2-hit KO me, which I'm fine with. Go Colossal here. They can't Terrastalize, so they really don't touch us at all. And now I'll click Will-O-Wisp. I feel like they may go Avalugg because it's their spin blocker. That makes a lot of sense, as they end up forfeiting there. Now you may have been wondering why Cacturn was on this team, because up until this point Cacturn hasn't done overly much. They did help out against the Umbreon, but that was about it. The reason Cacturn is on this team is for this mon in particular. The fish got a lot of help in the flip turn move, which means that it can just get out of any unfavorable situation. That is, except for if I have a Cacturn, because Cacturn has the water absorb ability while also being a dark type natively. So I can eat Psychic Fangs, I can eat Wave Crash, I can eat Flip Turn, and I resist Crunch. All of those combined means the Bruxish is going to struggle if I don't play Cacturn super wrong. Cacturn isn't bad against Houndstone either, although I wouldn't want to necessarily use it against Houndstone because Houndstone does have Body Press. As for removal, it looks like they don't have any. Lead off with Scyther, or that's not Scyther, Gligar. And I'm going to just start spike stacking. They may glare me if they have it, as they do have it. But that's fine by me. I don't really need my speed. And really, I don't need much in this game. Now, Gligar can't really touch Sandaconda, but Sandaconda can't really touch me either. And actually, what they've done by glaring me is allowed me to have the slow U-turn, which is sort of a bad thing, I think. My opponent is Sandspit. I was not expecting that, so that entirely changes my game plan, because what I was thinking was that this Houndstone was fluffy, but in fact it is Sandrush. I'm wondering, who is this? With a name like this, you'd think it would be somebody like Rabia. Showing off Houndstone in a new video. So we don't want to let that happen. I'm going to go into Electros and start coiling up. Actually, no, I'm just going to knock off. He'll probably go into Rotom to try to trick me because the coil is so obvious. They go Heracross, and that's fine by me too. This is Boots Heracross, which I was not expecting. We're going to go back into Gligar. We actually end up dodging, which is fine by me. I'll go for Toxic here, as I get paralyzed. Okay, we'll slow U-turn out if I can. Really, we just don't want to switch in on a bad turn. But I am really sad that I got that double para, because I should have been able to go into my Scyther. And that's really hurting me. But we do get to go into Scyther now. And we're not messing around with this threat, we're just going to click Dual Wing Beat. And we miss. Alright. So, that is unfortunate, to say the least. Huh. Alright, now we just have to hope that they pull not Megahorn. Because this is Mono Megahorn. And if we can just not pull Megahorn, then we can Giga Drain and I think maybe kill this. And if they do pull Megahorn, then we're just dead. Alright. Back to Electros. As we will just click the Drain Punch here. Because we've seen before that does a good chunk of damage. They go for Drain Protect, which is a little bit cringe, not gonna lie. Okay. Now we'll go for the knockoff. They come in with Poltergeist. So as I suspected, it is a more offensive version. Okay. At this point, I will just Dragon Pulse. I think that's the best play. I'm actually slower than offensive Jolly Houndstone. I think you probably would be adamant on this particular set. But I don't know. So they get their sand back up, which is fine. I'll just Dragon Pulse again. As, actually that was an unplay. I thought that did a lot more damage than it did. So that was my fault. I don't really think it matters. But because they're just gonna go Houndstone. Some might say that was even actually okay, just because it allows me to stall out a turn of sand. But given the way this game is gonna go, I don't really think that's actually that big of a deal. And we'll just sack this here. So if they are Banded Poltergeist, which is a possibility, then I wonder what the best thing to go into would be. Cacturn maybe? They might have to fear Sucker Punch, even though I have shown Giga Drain. Here we will just go for the Dark Pulse. Yeah, as that doesn't kill. As long as I'm alive, I think Bruxish is okay. Since they know I'm special, they don't really have to fear Sucker Punch. Which is unfortunate. I'm gonna go Gligar. They do try to Volt Switch. I can just slow U-turn on this. As fortunately, we get to go into Cacturn here. And they are still asleep for one turn left. I'm gonna Dark Pulse here. I don't think you'd risk this. As apparently they would. Apparently they would. So I should have Giga Drained there. Alright. I'm going to force them to go back to sleep here. Alright. And that's the game there. Yeah, so I should have Giga Drained. That was my fault in the end. Alright, now we're facing off against a team... Oh, Togkey. Alright, we're facing off against somebody else who knows what they're doing. That's unfortunate. I like facing off against people who don't know what they're doing. Spike stacking in this game is not really that valuable, I don't think. I'm just gonna lead off with Gudra to start. And I'll just click Scald here. I'll outspeed 0 speed, and I can potentially get a burn, as I do not. Which is a bit sad, but that's fine. I'll click Dragon Pulse here. As they knock me off, that's fine. Dragon Pulse again, 2 at KO. So they've gotten rid of their Gudra at the cost of my Assault Vest. I'm not sure how I feel about that trade. I feel like I came up a little bit because I don't have anything on my team that particularly deals with Gudra. For all I know, they were gooey though, and it could have messed my Scyther up, but Like, for the Scyther endgame, it doesn't really help me, I think. I'm gonna go Gligar here. I don't take Thunder Wave, I don't take Toxic. And now I can just click the U-turn as they go into their own Gligar. And I get to go back into Gudra, and something else now has to try to take a Scald and not get burned. It could go into Umbreon, but then the Umbreon would potentially get scalded, and I don't think they want that. They would go back into Gligar. They go for Wish. And on that note, I think I'll go in for Toxic here, as they are immunity of their own. This Wish support with Gligar makes a lot of sense because Gligar doesn't get Roost. I don't want this to get knocked off. I'm gonna go back into Gudra. They go for Stealth Rock. That's okay. Once again, we can Scald as we get the burn this time, which is pretty nice. Going to go into Gligar. They go for Foul Play. Here, I will click Toxic. I guess I've shown Toxic before, huh? Alright, let's go for Spikes and try to force some progress. Here, I will go into Gudra, because if they trick me, I'm not too fussed, and I am especially tanky. Alright, and then here I'll flip Flamethrower. They want a Rapid Spin, that's okay with me. And now, what are you gonna high jump kick me? I don't know. They might knock off again. Yes, they do. And we don't end up getting a burn, which is okay by me. Scyther doesn't really beat the Rotom yet. And that makes a lot of sense. Do I need the Cacturn? Cacturn is nice for the Rotom, and that's about it at this point. I'm going to go into Electros and click the Coil, because I figured they would make some kind of play like that. Now I'm going to go for my own knockoff, and then I will go for the Coil again, and then click knockoff again, because I figured, yeah, they'd go into Quillfish here. So they don't have their Rocky Helmet anymore. I want to get this Quillfish lower in health, so that's fine by me. We go for Barb Barrage, which makes a lot of sense. And here I can just click the Drain Punch to go Quillfish. And then I'll click Knockoff again. And then Knockoff again. Really, I'm just trying for this end game with Scyther. They go for Flip Turn, which makes a lot of sense. You want to preserve this in the back. They have their Rotom now, which I can go into Gligar on. I'm just going to click the Spike versus. Okay. And do I let this go down is the question. I don't really see the value in it. Maybe there is value in it, but I can't see it. I can go Cacturn here. We are heavy duty boots. And I can go for the Giga Drain. Okay. Now is the time to go Scyther. And I'm going to Trailblaze up. And then I will click the Dual Wing Beat. They just sacked their Quillfish. I thought they would. Okay. Because of the heavy duty boots, I can't really. Yeah, this is an annoying turn. Can Cacturn win on its own? Well, Serena does not appear to have the U-turn, so that's okay. I'm Terra Dark, which I don't know how I feel about that. Gligar definitely does have it, though. I'm gonna Dual Wing Beat. I don't know, man. They just Volt Switch is what I figured they'd do. They can get offensive momentum. Go into Gligar. Sure, that makes sense. going to go into Colossal, Terra Water, and should I? Terra Water? I don't know, I'm especially defensive. So they do go for U-turn. Okay. Go Cacturn here. As I'm now Choice Scarf, which is not good for me. Go Giga Drain here. And then Giga Drain again. They're probably just sacking the Gligar. Now we go Colossal. And I will click the Will-O-Wisp. They get burned. Which I'll now go back to Cacturn on. I don't really know what kind of progress I'm making here. Wow, I am really slow. Well, that makes sense. Go Colossal here just to show I'm not dumb. And then Rapid Spin here. Yeah. I hate to end it on a loss, but that's how it do be. And against somebody who's like really good at the tier, and with not a very good team, is not too surprising. But we'll just call that a day. I think a few problems with this team. One, it's pretty slow. Two, it's really easy to get chipped. If I had my own Umbreon, I think that would make a lot of sense. I really like the Cacturn for Bruxish, but if they don't have a Bruxish, then it doesn't really help you at all. Or at least its value goes down significantly. I think also a different EV spread on the Cacturn would make a lot of sense. I think Colossal is still fine. We've seen it help out a lot against Typhlosion. Gligar, I think, is okay as long as you have some kind of support. Also, this Gligar sort of walls itself. And so maybe having knockoff would be more useful, so you could at least knock the opposing Gligar. But I don't know. Gligar still has a lot of tools, but there's going to be some more research that needs to be done on that. Them losing Goodra early didn't make as much of an impact as I was hoping. And I think this Goodra would definitely have done a lot better if it had had some Wish support. If we had Wish support on this Goodra, it would have been a lot more impactful. And this Scyther particular set is not doing it. I thought Dual Wing Beat would be a lot better, but I didn't really have a lot of opportunities to click Dual Wing Beat because of all the fast electric types. There's this Rotom, there's the Grass Rotom, there's Jolteon that is in the tier, things like that. That's an issue. And Electros is mid. It's not very good right now, I don't think. So I probably would not run that again. But yeah, it's just my first look into the new NU tier. Just figuring stuff out, figuring what I want to try to use next. But that'll be it for me today. I'll catch you guys next time.